Hello, everybody. Come on in, say hi, let me know where you're from. I'm just kind of getting the feel of my desk here and the setup. I haven't quite found the most perfect spot in my apartment. I have a few spots I kind of set up like studios, but I always seem back at right here. I'm very comfortable at my desk. I spend a great deal of time at my desk and I'm quite comfortable here. Quite grateful for my comfy chair. And I suspect that it'll take a couple minutes before YouTube gets notifications out to everybody. But if you've never popped into my lives before, hi. My name is Cindy. I explore the inside and the out, and we do a live. We have a kind of a roundup on Sundays where we all get together on Sunday nights, and we just support each other, let each other know that we're okay, right? And if we're not okay, we let each other know. Hi, Owen. Wow, this is 2 weeks in a row you were first in here tonight. How's your day been going? I know this is going to bother me tonight. I'm just going to pull the straps of my bra off to the side because I keep seeing them poke out a little bit. I've been wearing a shirt. I've been doing a little bit of washing dishes and tidying up, trying to be motivated, not doing a very good job at it today. Kind of poked. But I actually just finished up some dishes and I was just a mess. So I said, okay, Cindy, throw something bright on. And this is my absolute favorite top. It's so bright and orange is my favorite color. And it's got pink in there too. And whoever thought that orange and pink would be an amazing combination. But yeah, it turned out to be one of my favorite tops I've ever gotten. I've secondhand, right? All these things that I talk about that I buy, these are all just little secondhand tops. And even though it's a brand, a good brand, I think it's Old Navy or something, but even though it's a good brand, it still was a used item that was well taken care of and is getting second use. I'm never going to buy new clothes ever again. I'm going to buy all my clothes from the secondhand store from now on. Look, an Angry Birds fan is here. He's actually been new to our channel for a few weeks now. And last week he was helping us out with, what was he helping? There was something that was going on and he had the answers and I can't remember what we were talking about. Really interesting though. Was it missiles or something like that? We were talking about something. Hope everybody had a good week this week. This week just kind of flew by for me. I managed to get through it in one piece. I tripped over some boxes yesterday, or not yesterday, a few days ago. The swelling's all gone down there. There's some bruising and stuff. But I landed on my arm and I messed up my arm and my arm's really sore and I'm not complaining. I guess I am complaining, but it's because I don't really get a lot of boo-boos, things that make me actually painfully suffer. Grateful, right? So that when I do hurt myself, I really do take note. And it's not like I'm throwing myself into the experience of being uncomfortable or being in pain. I'm just trying to, I don't know, maybe figure it out. Maybe so that maybe somewhere's down the line that I can sympathize or appreciate somebody else's misgivings of having, issues that cause them pain. Hi, William. Hey, William. I hope your week's been going good. I'm waiting to hear back to have my vaccine appointment. They ran out of stock, so I have to wait for them to restock. So hopefully I get my call this week that I can go in and have my vaccine. I know William got his vaccine. William's vaccinated. Really happy for William. Owen too, because he takes care of his mom. Andrew, right. And I can't remember. Andrew, did you get vaccinated too? I can't remember if Andrew got vaccinated or not. And then I have a couple of subscribers here who plan not to get vaccinated. No judgment there, right? And I wish you all well and Yeah, I hope it everything goes okay. Here people are having problems with people who are having the vaccinations and people who are not having the vaccinations, right? But oh, okay. Yeah, I know you got I remember at a point there it was almost every second week you were getting tested for the virus. I remember that. Curdo Boy is here. You guys, Curdo Boy is one of the my students, I guess. I could say that. Well, maybe not. We're having conversation. He's actually from Iran, you guys, and I invited him to come over onto this channel. I don't see his tag there. Maybe you guys see. Oh, there he is. There he is. And he's learning English, people. Andrew, Owen, right? William, right? If you guys could make him feel comfortable. And, because if he feels comfortable, then some of the other students that I've been talking to over on Instagram, they'll feel comfortable about coming over because it's not just important to have conversations, right? When you're learning English, just to speak it, it's important to get used to the writing. And I know these guys. These guys are used to my writing because I send them emails and I send them messages. We do some messenger here. What else? Oh yeah, and I talk to William on Instagram. So we do have a lot of written back and forth, us guys, right? So it's a lot of getting used to how we talk and how we write. And I'm not the greatest speller, and I'm not really great with grammar. Andrew is amazing. Andrew's really amazing with the grammar. And I love his letters. He actually, Andrew, I think, is the only one who actually writes me letters. He writes me letters. I haven't gotten a letter for a while, but I don't expect to because I'm not the big writer that he is. And I think it's my turn to send him off a letter. I hope everybody's having a great day. Awesome. Awesome. I like it. Oh, it's been slowly getting larger, the group of people doing the Sunday night lives. And what I think is most important is taking note of the new people that are joining in on the conversations. That's what I really like, right? Oh, I would love that. Kathy, has sent me cards, right? I get birthday cards and holiday cards. She sends me a card. Last year, she didn't send me a Christmas card last year but she wanted to, and I said don't because I don't know where I'm going to be living. Remember the mess that I was in? It just seems so long ago, and it was not even. It was like 6 months ago. Do you remember the state that I was in? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I will never, ever, ever in my entire life forget that experience. That was crazy. When they shut off my electricity last year, and I was in my apartment when it was 40 below outside, and I had no heat. And I was trying to stay warm with an electrical cord that I ran out into the hallway, and I would plug my toaster in and I would use it like it was a heater. I put it under my blanket so it would warm me up a little. Oh, and I cried and I cried and I cried. Oh, I will never forget that year, right? And then having that stress of people saying they're going to lock me out of my apartment, and I was scared because I had a job and I was in that mentorship program, and it was important to have stable housing during that process. And my stable housing was anything but stable housing. It was so scary those months, and yet I got through it, you guys. Like I persevered that, and I can't ever forget that. I haven't thought about it in a little while. Mind you, I've given OFE some thought the past couple of weeks because I know uh, OFE, if you haven't heard of them, they're opportunities for employment. They were a program that I went through in order to get the job that I have. And I've been very grateful, very lucky to have found my job. And I've actually been able to work full time throughout the entire coronavirus. I was making much more money on government assistance because of the coronavirus. I was making much more when they shut us down. But I was happy to go back to work, and I'm grateful to have gone back to work because that gave me something to ground in. It was very important because I can get so into my head. I can get so, sorry people, you're going to see my bra straps every once in a while. I'll just slide them down just a little bit more just so they don't pop out. That was bad judgment on my part on the choice of my bras. I keep looking over and I keep seeing my bra straps. But yeah, like back to that, I was just thinking, how grateful I am for the mentorship, just not the mentorship that I've gotten through the government here in Manitoba, but I'm grateful for the fact that they helped me to feel a little bit more stable on my feet. Like I was stressing out so badly. And if there was a representation of anxiety for me, I would say that experience got me pretty close to, like, I don't think I was ever so worried or ever so scared or ever felt like I was so by myself, right? Like I was so by myself. And then to come out of it that year the way I did, it was a miracle, and it's an experience I'm never ever going to forget. And it's a thing too, right? Because I had that experience, and when we're out there and we're interacting with people in our daily lives and we come across somebody that might be homeless, I can tell them a story about how close I came, right, to being in their situation, how grateful I was that I actually sought out the help that I needed to let my barriers down at the absolute most important moment of my life, that I could have just made a decision and just ended up on the streets with a shopping cart, right? And to have that happen to me in this time that we live in right now, where there's so many people homeless out there. We have a real problem with the homeless people. They have taken over the bus shacks here in Manitoba, here in Winnipeg. And we have a lot of bus shacks here in Winnipeg for the transit shacks, where people could go in and get out of the wind and get out of the elements, right? Because we do live in a province that have the both extremes, the very hot and the very cold. And so they built these shelters, these bus shelters, to keep that in mind. But with this coronavirus going on, it has put people in a financial situation where, people looking for work are having a hard time, because people who do have opportunities for employment, they can take the cream of the crop. They're going to take the ones with the most training, the most experience, right? The most dedication and reliability for what they really want. And so it's hard for people, and people are ending up wandering the streets in the bad weather to boot, right? Something's going. There's a gentleman downstairs, really, really, really nice guy. Really nice guy. He talks to me all the time, but I can see that he's in his own world. We'll just say it like that, right? You could say, but he's down there and he's got his own little entrepreneur business going on in the laundry room, where I could tell that he's washing clothes for the homeless. He's using lilac pine sol as laundry soap in these washing machines, right? And the reason why I know he's doing laundry for the homeless, because he's there all the time doing laundry, number one. And he goes through that pine sol like crazy. So he's there all day long doing lots of laundry. And he's stuffing things into backpacks and into duffel bags, right? So they're not even his. They're not laundry baskets. He's not popping in. It's a little entrepreneur business. And I can tell that he's definitely doing laundry for the homeless. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But it's not really good either, because there's a lot of germs, and a lot of vulnerable out there are not taking precautions against the coronavirus. I guess with the laundry, that's killing its germs. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. I think it's very entrepreneurship that he's probably charging $5 or $10 to do these these homeless people's laundries. We get free laundry here in this building. And this building is specifically for 55 plus, right? And low income 55 plus. So there would be a lot of opportunity to have a lot of business like that. But if he's charging $5 or $10 for the homeless and he's doing 20 loads of laundry a day, that's a pretty good income that he's making. But I'm going to assume that money's going to other things other than to his needs, right? Is it really 1 in 10,000? I didn't know that from a surface. I saw a post today of what it looks like in somebody's face mask, the germs that are inside somebody's face mask, you guys. Yeah, I only wear my face mask once, and then right away it gets washed. It gets put in my dish area, and I wash it. And then on laundry day, I do all of my face masks at the same time just to make sure that they're extra clean, right? But I have lots of face masks. I work in a thrift store, and the ladies, while they're at home, they're making face masks. So we have lots of face masks donated to our store. And I like face masks to match my outfits. I've become a little bit of an outfit connoisseur at work. I have my own sense of style, right? It's different. It's colorful, but I like to match my face mask to my outfit. Like if I were to wear this outfit to work, then I would try and have an orange, like I do with my jewelry. Whatever the color outfit I'm wearing, I'm going to wear the same color jewelry, right? Yeah. But I do have a lot of face masks. Like my hooks are full. I've got probably at least 10 or 50. Oh, I've got 15 masks for sure. Oh, thank you, William. And I agree with you. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I got smiled on, that I was able to walk into my new place, right? I just walked into the whole move. My brother-in-law helping me move all the furniture here, right? The kind people at work that helped me through that process by just keeping me, not stressing. And were very easy to get along with. I had a job that I enjoyed. So, I could have been going through that whole process in a job that was so hard and so stressful that I couldn't even keep my wits about me. And that just adds on to the plate, right? When you're transitioning into something different. A lot of things, you're right, a lot of things went into my favor on this. Oh, yeah, definitely I was led. It was a gift. It was definitely a gift, right? I shouldn't have stressed the way I did, but certainly was uncomfortable sitting in my apartment with no electricity and no heat. That was really scary, and it was really sad because I felt like nobody cared. That way, I think was the most disheartening of the whole situation, because I've been through, right, having no money and right, having people treat me bad, but when you just feel like nobody cares, like nobody cares, nobody even cares to treat you badly. It was just like nobody cared, right? I felt so alone, I think, at that time. And I like my alone, but this was a different kind of alone, right? It kind of just put me back, I guess, maybe to my childhood, right? Just nobody wanted to be around me, and just living my life on my own, and always feeling like, I was never going to amount to anything, right? And it was just a miserable year last year. And I am grateful to be out of it. And I'm not 100% about, because my credit cards are still waiting there for me to pay, right? That back rent that I owe is still waiting for me to pay. I still don't have a car to get back on the back roads, right? There are still things I need. There are still struggles. And those are things that I have to move towards, right? Those are the things that I want. Those are the things that I have to move forward. It's my responsibility to be resourceful enough and creative enough to find ways to overcome these barriers, right? So they're not barriers that become, right, I would love to do some. I'm ready for some adventure. And it's hard, right? And it's hard for everybody because nobody's adventuring right now. But the moment they say go, the moment those gates open and those horses are allowed to hit that race, I'm out of there, man. Poof! All you're going to see is like a puff of dust because I'm going to be so gone out into Mother Nature and on the back roads. But I have to be prepared for that. I have to have a vehicle. I have to work towards that. And I think probably it's my fear because I see it's such a big goal and I can't see with this job that I have. It's not the big bucks, right? That I'm not going to be able to hit that mark and be able to afford to pay for a vehicle outright. And I can't afford to do payments, right? I'm not somebody who right, things change for me quite often, right? I could be picked up and be gone and not have an income come in, and to be responsible for payments like that, that's a lot of stress to have. And I promised myself when I got into this apartment this year, right? When things started sorting themselves out, and it's important for me to stay at this job. I know I'm at this job until at least September, right? And the reason for that is the program that I went through, their funding from the government is determined by the fact that we're able to stay, the people that they help out, that they're able to stay for a year in the same position and do it well. I mean, I'm close. It's not a breeze. So it's not like I could just up and switch my life right this moment, right? Because these people have been very good to me. My boss has been very good to me. Like I said, these government programs have been very good to me. The mentorship that I have gotten has been very good to me. My friends, my family, with or without their full involvement and their enthusiastic attitudes, have been very good to me, right? The process could have been much, much more difficult, right? So you have to be grateful and just understand that it's a process. And I would like to show because again, and this will be a hard year for organizations like OFE to get their funding. The government will be looking to cut back on funding only because they just don't have the money. They have to make those cuts somewheres, right? So it would be really, really good if they could show that during the coronavirus that Cindy was able to keep her job full time for a year and do a good job and not miss any days or anything. So, right, we don't want to get sick. And I thought this morning, oh my God, and I still feel, and I'll be going to bed early today. But yeah, it's important for me to show these companies, these mentorships, these influencers that have helped me to get me to the point where I'm at right now to look good themselves, that it shows well on them, my success, right? Because my success is their success, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without their support. Like I said, we are nothing without the people that are sitting next to us, the people who are holding us up or letting us use their shoulders to rest our heads, right? To listen to us, right? Even this here on Sunday nights, us getting together here on Sunday nights. And this is what we need desperately to be able to communicate. Kudo, are you still there, Kudo? And I would like to introduce some of my Instagram. I think it would be very good to them. And I think you guys would be very, very good to them too if they were to come in. Kurdo boy, right? Him and his sister, I was talking to them the other day, and they were from Iran, and just lovely, lovely, learning English, very friendly. And it's great too that people individually could represent the countries that they're from and not be looked at as part of the whole, but be looked at as individuals, right? And I invited them here. And I know you guys will be absolutely beautiful to them. If they pop in, they might be quiet to start off to, but believe me, they're yappers and they're interesting too. And won't it be fun to learn about the cultures? With me, I'm interested. I'm waiting to bump into somebody who loves history that's going to be able to, talk to me about all those amazing ruins, right, that they have, right, and their relationship to the rest of the world. I just lent my books, all my history books, to a gentleman that I work with, and we share a lot of interests. It's really interesting, the crew that we have at the job that I have, because we get along so well. We have some interests that are very much the same. Lots of us are very mindful and very aware, and it's really amazing to have these conversations with people, because I didn't even know that these people ever existed, right? That these would not have been conversations that they would have had with me. And it's funny because I would have listened, I would have been interested in these things, even unaware. I would have been interested, and it would have prepared me, I think, a little bit better when I was aware, right? I would have had a lot more information. I would have understood a little bit better of what was going on, rather than being led into it the way I was. But the way I was led into it, even that was a miracle. Like, even that was a miracle. Just the lessons, how they came to me, just in a succession of strength, right? In understanding, making sure I was getting one lesson before I got a lesson that I wouldn't understand. And every once in a while, I'd go down a path, right? And I'd look at something and go, oh man, that's so woohoo. No way, this is crazy town. And I'd get out of there, and you never know. And then 6 months later, that content suggested to me again, and I watch and I go, wow, that's so insightful. It's just, you can just laugh at yourself. That's so insightful. This guy is so smart. How come I never bumped into him before? Oh, wait a minute. Isn't he that? Oh, yeah, I remember now. And there were a few of those too, right? A few of those too. We test the waters. And like I said, sometimes we get the lessons before we're really ready for them. But if you kind of hang out with me and stuff and you don't understand, just brush it off or put it on a shelf for a little bit. And you never know. You might catch something, relate to it. And then what I just talked about in this moment, you'll go, oh, I get it now. It happens to me lots. And actually today I had some deja vu, and I haven't had any. It wasn't really strong, but it was something that I had this lesson before. I actually did a lesson on this just yesterday. But this one is from a couple of days ago. Did I get my lesson from this one, or did this one get my lessons from me? And I just confused myself, right? But it was a little bit of deja vu, and I haven't had one of those in a long time. And I used to just stand there and go, oh my God, I remember this moment, pulling this bag of popcorn out of the microwave. It was always something silly in a moment, right? I used to have them all the time when I was a little kid. I used to have them all the time. It was like, almost like, yeah, it was weird. It was almost like it was at the same time all the time. It was really, really hard to decipher what was mine and what was not. And oh, wait a minute. Didn't I just do this? Wait a minute. Wait, I've had this moment before. I know what's going to happen next. And sure enough, that's what would happen next. And I haven't had deja vu for years and years and years. And the one I had this morning wasn't true deja vu as I know it. But it kind of, right, it kind of made me stop in my tracks and say, hey, wait a minute. I just had this lesson. I just gave out this lesson. Like, what's going on here, right? And it kind of makes you stop in your tracks and reflect on things. Let's see what's going on in the comments here, everybody. Hi, Nancy. What's your good cheer this week? I'm heading down the comments now. I'm sure you're already yapping about what's going on. Let us know if you haven't. Oh, really? Even with the coronavirus, Andrew? I would have thought that apartments would be going really, really cheap right now, considering that, everybody's getting kicked out. I can look out my window at night and I can see specifically what apartments are not being occupied, because the lights never ever come on, like never come on. I mean, it's possible that people go away for the winter, but it's spring now, so people should be coming back to their apartments and stuff if that's the case, right? Lots of people in Manitoba, they like to go to Arizona for winter. They like to spend time in Arizona for winter. I have a book here, Andrew. One of the guys from my work suggested it to me. I don't know if you've ever read about it or if you know anything about it. I'm just going to show it here a little bit, and you can tell me. It's called The Epic of Gilgamesh. Have you ever heard of it? One of the gentlemen at my work asked me to read it, and we were going to have a discussion about it. Now, I read the first few pages. It's basically the introduction that I'm still in, and it's just talking about the tablets and stuff. But yeah, he said it was absolutely amazing. So I've just started it. I'm probably only going to do a few pages every single day. I'm probably only going to do a few pages. Oh, Kathy's here too. Hi, Kathy. I'm reading down the comments, everybody. Wow, I'm so grateful. I pay next to nothing. I pay next to nothing for my rent. It's a miracle, and all my utilities is included, right? Oh, I don't watch TV anyway. I pay for that separately if I wanted to have a TV. But yeah, it's amazing. I really like it here. Even though it's at nighttime, you really can't go for evening walks in this neighborhood. And I think as time goes by a little bit more that the homeless will find this to be very comfortable. It's a good neighborhood because it's a busy neighborhood. Even late at night, it's a busy neighborhood. So if you need money and stuff, like, you can do the panhandling stuff even late at night, right? But it's also central to downtown. So it's a residential area where they can find places to bed down and then still walk into the downtown in the morning during the business hours and stuff. And I don't think there's much business going on downtown. And hopefully we don't get shut down. I intend on following those rules, and I intend on getting my vaccine as soon as they call me. I'm down there and I'm getting my vaccine. So I'm looking forward. Well, I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to that, but it's going to be interesting to see if I have a reaction or I don't. I'm not going to say one way or another. I know I do have reactions to the flu shot. I get some pretty bad reactions. So we'll see what's going to happen. But I'm determined. It's important that we come together as communities, as larger communities, even though I say that our communities and our networks are going to get smaller and smaller as time goes by. During these crisis times, these are times that we get together. And Manitoba is a great example of that. All settled by people that were coming from that were being persecuted in the countries that they were living in their home countries, that they actually had to pick up everything and not have much and get on a boat and come to a place that has not been settled and settle a piece of raw land in Canada. That must have been so traumatizing, and not everybody survived during those times. And in those times, there were still plagues and diseases going on, and wars too, right? So people came here to Canada, and they settled this land, and we knew right away. Remember what I said, Manitoba. We have extreme climate here. We have very hot summers, very beautiful, but very hot summers and very cold. And they wouldn't have been used to the weather, and they would have had to depend on each other in order to survive. And they did. So even though they would have been private, because they wouldn't have been able to speak the same language as each other, because there would have been so many different countries, and they would have been learning English in school, in the one-room schoolhouses here in Canada. But there might have only been one or two people speaking English, and then you might have 5 or 6 French people, and you'd have some Polish, and you'd have Ukrainians, right? And Russians. You would have had different nationalities going on, all trying to learn to speak English. And in those days, the kids didn't even get to stay in school long enough to learn a proper English. They would have spent most of their times on the farm, very isolated, very alone in their own communities, because, different cultures would have liked to have lived together. So you would have had small groups of the same cultures in different areas of the province. But we learned quickly and real fast that we cannot survive without our neighbors, without people that are right next to us helping to hold us up. And at that time, political ideas, religious ideas, right? That these things, right? Cultural nationalities, none of this matters in a time when families are in need. And that's what's so special about this province that I live in, this country that I live in, right? Very grateful that my great grandfather decided to come to Canada. I believe it was for adventure. He came to Canada for adventure. So much so that he needed this so badly that he allowed himself to be disowned by his own family in Europe. He was from Sussex. I think he was from Sussex, right? And yeah, they gave him some money and said, "We never want to see you again." And he moved to Canada, and he picked up his wife in Ontario, and they moved on to British Columbia. My grandfather owned the entire Delta at one time, the entire Delta. The Delta now is its own city, but at that time when my grandfather owned it, it was just swampland, right? That he used for the cows, and he was a farmer, right? And he had farmland, and yeah, he sold big parcels of land to was it Boeing? Yeah, Boeing, and to Dairyland, which was a milking company. He sold the land to, and then when he passed away, the kids got the rest of it, sold the rest of the land, and yeah, 100 years later, that land is a city. Delta is actually a city now, but at one time, yeah, my grandfather owned all of it. So his inheritance must have been something special. But the thing is, my mom didn't get a lot of money. My grandmother got a little bit of money to help because she had health problems. But my mother didn't get any money because, well, she got $20,000, but her brothers got all the money and all the land, because that's the way it worked in those days. The money and land, they went to the boys, and the girls were, if they were lucky, they were taken care of. And yeah, my mother just got a little parcel of money. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the technical part of it. My nephew knows all that. We gave him all the family trees and everything, and he studied all that, and he started to have a conversation with me about it. And once he hit on a nerve when it came to my father, I just jumped all over, and he shut right down, and he wouldn't tell me anymore about my genealogy, right? So yeah, I'm going to have to corner him pretty good next time I see him, so that I can get some more information, because I trust my nephew wholly now. At the time, maybe I might not have, but I wholly trust my nephew right now, that what he's speaking speaking his own truth, right? And I can trust what because he means for my best interest, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I remember a few times last year that I didn't eat. I remember a few times last year that I didn't eat. It's really hard when you feel like a loser, right? It's hard to ask for help. But in the end, like I got the help that I needed, right? Last year, being accepted into that mentorship program, you know and it wasn't all bad, because there was a lot of fun stuff going on at that time. Remember, I was doing the workshops and the seminars, right? Wasn't that lots of fun? I was doing the traveling. I got to go to Minneapolis. I got to go to Toronto. Like, that was so much fun. Those were experiences I'm never ever going to forget, ever, even if I have more spectacular holidays or visits in other places. I will never ever, those places and those experiences were so special to me that I couldn't even forget them, even if I wanted to, right? Yeah. big part of this journey, a big part of my story, right? And I'll be happy to tell that part of my story one day. Yeah, I didn't know that it was 1 in 10,000 chances of catching the virus off of the surfaces. I thought it would have been much higher than that. Yeah, but that was true, Andrew. I was so scared last year, and you guys were with me every Sunday night, and I didn't miss a live, did I? I didn't miss a live during that whole process. I kept my internet going, and we did a live every week, and I'm very, very proud of that too, right? Because that helped me lots too to be able to come in on Sunday and chit chat with everybody, right? Oh, they won't pay for the hospitalization? Oh my goodness, Nancy, that is like that is seems a little bit ridiculous there. Holy moly. Are you going to take them to court on that one? Like you're the last person right, we don't take unnecessary chances, Nancy here. We do absolutely everything to make sure that we are okay. And I know you do for sure, Nancy. Yeah, check into that. Like maybe somebody here knows a little something that Nancy could get into get her vaccination. That just seems a little bit unfair there. Because you do need to be watched over because you do have other conditions that can be agitated with taking the shot. So you have to be overseen on that. And I was thinking about that too, Andrew. That's a really good point, Andrew, that you're putting up there right now about the obsession with cleaning surfaces, right? You know, it wasn't too long ago, even in the 17th century, and I guess we can say that the plague hit then too, and people didn't understand it because of so much, right? There was filth. It was people were just taking buckets of waste and just dumping it out their windows onto the street, and people were walking in it and traipsing it through their house and dragging their clothes in it. Because remember, the ladies were wearing long dresses at the time. That stuff would have been on the bottom of their dresses. And if you had a sore, that could get into your sore. And, oh my goodness, right? All that filthy bacteria and, right? And now people are becoming obsessed with cleaning. That's a hard one, right? I know people who are clean freaks, and it takes a lot of life. It takes away a lot. You obsess about a lot of stuff that is unimportant. And that is the saddest part of it. When you obsess over stuff that isn't going to get you nowhere. Cleaning your kitchen counter, cleaning your kitchen counter, cleaning your kitchen counter. Where's the progress in that? There isn't. It's only the momentary satisfaction that you got a clean counter. And if you're person, a clean freak, that isn't going to ever happen because no matter how clean you get it, it's not going to be clean enough, right? And then on top of that, it's the agitation that you give to people when they come to visit you, when you have friends over and stuff. These are the people that have the plastic over their furniture, right? In the 70s, it was very popular to leave the plastic on your furniture when your friends came to visit you. They were sitting on a beautiful couch that was wrapped in big plastic. Do you remember that? Right? So obsessions is really, really can take a grip on your life. I know because I had a condition called pica, and that is from the lack of B12 in my diet. I wasn't able to take in enough iron, enough protein. And it happens quite often, it's one of the side effects of having the gastric bypass, which is the stomach stapling. which is the operation I had in my 20s, late 20s, to lose 160 pounds. And it left me with a condition called pica. And I would get addicted to really, really strange things. Because my surgeon retired about 2 weeks after I had my operation, I basically went through the process of healing and the process of losing weight on my own accord with my own decisions. And yes, I took daily vitamins because I remember him saying, you got to take a vitamin every day. I took a vitamin every day, but I still lacked in B12s, right? I still didn't have that information that I needed, that I should have my blood checked every year. And I still don't go in to have my blood checked every year, right? And the doctors look at me strange when I said, I had the gastric bypass. My doctor says it's really important that I come in and have my blood checked. They don't even know what to check for in my blood, but I'm going to assume it's the nutrients. And I usually say that I think it's probably to make sure that I'm not malnourished, right? Because I also have malabsorption. I have to take lots of vitamins in order for some of the vitamins to be absorbed into my system. And again, I have my vitamins right down here, and I haven't taken my vitamins, for a month. I haven't taken any vitamins, and I haven't been eating very well either. This has been probably one of the worst months I have had in a long time. And I know it's part of my de-stressing routine because I'm one of those people who eat when I'm celebrating, and I eat when I'm stressing, right? So I know right now I'm coming down and I'm eating things. I'm eating ice cream and pastry. I'm being pretty good. I had hamburger bun, but I'm still not eating the bread. But a hamburger bun is technically bread, but I just limited myself to no bread. So I've been very good at staying off the bread. I haven't been dipping into the crackers, and I used to do crackers instead of bread, right? So, those things I've been able to stick down, but I used to get I got addicted to Halls for 3 years. I just ruined my teeth with the Halls. And I would crunch these Halls, the cough drops, if you don't know what Halls are. They were cough drops, but the sugar and the eucalyptic and the acidity, oh my goodness, I would have the most wicked heartburn, cavities. Oh, it was a nightmare. And I just didn't suck on these things, right? I went rah, 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 and I would crunch on them. And I got hooked on those shortly after I met my husband. I think for the first, maybe it was shortly after we got married, because I remember that I was still doing the Halls, I think, when I separated from him. But I know I did do Halls for 3 years, and I know they just absolutely just trashed my teeth. The heartburn, the acidity, it caused me lots of problems. And then just one day, poof, it just disappeared. I just said, oh no, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. What I did is I had to get off the Halls, right? It was costing me too much money for dentists, number one. And the heartburn was concerning because, heart disease runs in my family, and I'm very in tune to my body. So when I don't feel good, when I feel uncomfortable, like today, waking up and feeling like I could go back to bed, and having my sore arm and my swollen baby finger. Look how crooked that poor thing is. And that's straight out. This one's straight. But yeah, this one's all crooked. I smacked it one too many times. I've smacked it lots of times, but it's pretty crooked. But boy, my whole arm just hurt today so bad. It feels much better right now, but I haven't been doing much in the way of heavy lifting or anything besides the few groceries that I brought home. I had to get outside for a little bit, and I got to the grocery store. I just wandered in the aisles. I just wanted to be out. I just wanted some fresh air and pick up a few things at the store. And right, I didn't want to go to the store tomorrow. And what do I need? And I couldn't even think because I didn't even go there with a plan of what I needed. So what did I pick up? I picked up ice cream. So I've got ice cream. So I'm not being good with my eating habits, but I know right now is I'm de-stressing. I feel the buzz. I feel the buzz. Uh yeah, it's a buzz. I don't quite have a handle on it, which is kind of strange for me, right? I'm a really usually pretty good reader of things, and I'm not reading the situation. I can see that we're going to go into some kind of financial thing, but at the same time, there's going to be so much innovation. There's going to be so much magic happening when it comes to science and discoveries and right, like wow, we are going to move, and this happens after these, like after the Spanish flu. This is exactly what happened after the Spanish flu. So if we just put us back to those years of 1917, as we're just coming out of the pandemic and that hairy, scary, we're going to see, if you follow what happened at the few years up until then, you're going to see what's going to happen now. Now, there was a huge depression, right, going on. But there was also the dirt bowl. There were lots of weather phenomenal. And haven't we? They were saying that in one week there were 53 earthquakes in the world or something last week. I went, are you kidding me? And I'm watching what's going on in Iceland, but at the same time I'm just dazzled and amazed about what's going on Mars. Like, so amazing. They actually generated 2 hours of oxygen for one person on Mars this week. They actually had a helicopter flying around on Mars this week. Has anybody been watching that stuff? Oh my God, it's so interesting. But these are the things that we can expect to be happening in the future. And we look back at our parents, right? And go, oh, they're such fuddy-duddies, right? That's the old-fashioned way and stuff. And the kids in the digital age where the parents are screaming, get off the video games. That's all you do is play video games. And the kids are looking at the parents going, oh, you guys, you're such fuddy-duddies. But they're using different words, not fuddy-duddies, right? Or they're spending so much time, whereas in my generation, that your mom said, go outside and play, you would go out and hang out in the trees or down by the river or something. And now you tell your kids to go out and play. Well, they go out, sit in the backyard on a lawn chair with their phone, and they play on the phone, right? So we live in a digital age, and we shouldn't judge, but at the same time, we should influence, right? We should influence, and we should teach them morals, right? We should let them rub off on us so that they could be well brought up, that they can make good decisions, because right, we're going to be to their beck and call. They're going to be the ones calling the shots towards our pensions. And again, like what's going on with Nancy, that she can't even go into the hospital to be monitored while she's having the vaccine, right? Because some bozo in the government says no, right? So we have to have our views, and that's part of being online. That's part of me being here on Sunday night, and that's part of why you guys are in the comments, being able to put out your views and your ideas and your thoughts, right? And talk to each other and get that word and get that support, because you might be the one with that answer. You might have that answer down packed, but because you have that one limiting belief when it comes to courage or speaking out or having the confidence in what you understand for yourself to even be true, that you need sounding boards. You need to have somebody to say, hey, Andrew, you're 100% right on that. And what does that do? That gives Andrew a little bit more bravery to say, yeah, right? I am right. I know I'm right, right? And all I needed was somebody else to say, yeah, I'm in there with you. I agree with you. And then that builds up a little bit more courage that, okay, well, if I have an idea or a thought that I think that might help somebody out there, I'm going to just open up my mouth and just say it. And look at this is the same thing that's happened with William. William was here on Sunday nights. How long, William? It took about well over a year, William was here in the comments. He always left me a thumbs up. I knew he was here in the comments, but he would never come in and chit chat. Do you remember that, William? And look at William now. William is just like gutter mouth. William draws into the conversation and contributes into the conversation, right? Just as much as anybody. And the stories that we've gotten off of William, right? Off of his dear friend who passed, that impacts William's life, right? What happened in his church congregation when the virus first hit and losing, one of the pastors, right? And then his miraculous gift of himself to be able to lead, right, in the church himself and in his own growth, right? So we've been able to watch William grow in his process too. But there was a time that he was just in the background, right? And yet, look at William now, right? He yaps just as much as anybody else and contributes to this pool of goodness that we have every Sunday night. And it's amazing. And Owen too, like my Owen. Oh my goodness, right? Like I could depend on these guys. And not just depend, because they know that if they can't make it, it's not a big deal. But you know what? They're here every single week, right? And they're important. They're important to this crew. And when they're not around, we notice, right? And Nancy, right? Our dear Nancy, right? Fighting the battle. Our Jack in the Box, right? Just keeps popping up with every single battle that tries to take her down. And she just pops up every single time. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I love you guys. Seriously, I do. But you're right, Andrew. Cleaning has gone way too far. And I think that was the beginning of that rant is about the cleaning and the different addictions and stuff that are going to arise through this. And I was thinking about this. This is a good one too. And I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts on this one are. We're coming out of the digital age. And I was talking on Instagram today about how my sister's business, she does business furnishings and cubicles and setups for these big skyscraper businesses and stuff. This is how her business made their money. They lost 80% of their business. My sister's single-handedly trying to save her business. It's never going to come back. And she's fighting that great battle. And I'm just watching at her. I'm not helping you because, right? Like the ship is going down on that one. And she's not willing to jump ship, right? She doesn't have that foresight to see a little bit ahead to see what's going on here. And then I think about this and then I think, okay, can she do home offices? Well, she says, yes, I could do home offices. And we are doing home offices, but they're so time consuming because they're going from one base to the next. So the setup is a process in itself, setting up to get the job done. So it's a lot of setup for one aspect where they would do that one cubicle in a house. They would have done 150 of them in a skyscraper, and they would do it all with their base setup right there, setting it up just once. And now they've got to do home, right? Set up a home, go and pack up the truck again, go set up again and do the same process. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for them. So I'm thinking, okay, so they're taking these things home. The office is coming home, you guys. So people are going to be doing home office. People are going to be working from home. They'll be monitored, right? Their work companies, they'll be monitoring them with webcams and cameras and stuff to make sure that they're doing their work, that they're doing their jobs, right? That there are ways to do this. And I'm thinking, yeah, you know what's going to happen? People are going to delve into their addictions because they're not in a public space, right? They're going to be sitting in their jobs, which is their home office, in their office chair, at their desk, in their pajamas, doing their work, not showering, not exercising, not socializing physically with anybody, coworkers, nothing, right? They could have their scotch on the rocks right beside them at the desk, and nobody's going to know better for it. They're going to be totally pounded, right? and think that they can hold their own and nobody's going to notice because nobody can smell their breath, or smell the alcohol that is seeping from their pores out of their skin, right? So I'm thinking about this. This is going to be a hard one, people. This is going to be a hard one. Everybody's going to need some counseling to get through this. Whatever the solution that they're going to have is definitely going to have to involve cameras. It's going to have to be surveillance. People are not going to be happy about being surveyed, right? Where a camera could shoot in right into the president's office, and he can watch his employee, which is no different than in a company. And we have cameras in company, but we don't really think that somebody is sitting there staring at us, making sure that we're doing our jobs, right? And not lots of us are office people, are we? Right? So we got to look at those aspects too. There'll be a lot of entrepreneurship going on, lots of business going on, lots of struggles, lots of emotions that are going to be all mixed up in it, right? And here we are every Sunday for 2 years, guys, right? And you have all this experience because you've been with me all that time. You've been watching me go through that process. And even though you didn't go through the process that I went through, you went through your own process. You've been watching me. You've been hanging out with me through my entire process. You know the story. You know what happens. You can judge. You know my personality and what I went through. You can put yourself in other people's shoes and come up with solutions, right? So I'm really excited about new people coming onto this channel on Sunday nights and hanging out with us. I'm really, really excited about that, right? To have a little bit of company, even if people are not talking, even if they were like William for the first year, hanging out in the background, right? And just watching and not contributing in the comments because they're not there yet, right? Maybe you'll get there at some point. Maybe you won't, right? Eventually, I think you will. Eventually, I think you'll just come in and say hi just for the experience of Andrew and Owen and Nancy and Kathy and, oh, look, an Angry Birds fan. We all have our own personalities, people. But kindness matters, right? Kindness matters. And like I said, nobody's going to move forward without that person sitting next to us. And on Sunday nights, this is what sits next to me. And I'm very grateful for every single one of you. Okay, let's get back to these comments here because I'm rambling off all about all kinds of stuff today, right? Oh, so that is okay. I understand a little bit better, Nancy. Yeah, so yeah, we want you safe, Nancy. We want you safe. So you'll be one of those people, right, who decides not to take the vaccine. You're going to have to take your chance. But at the same time, that's why it's more important that everybody, if they are eligible to have the vaccine, that they should have the vaccine, right? Because we are protecting people like Nancy, right? We're protecting people like Nancy because even though we could get the vaccine, we can still touch dirty surfaces and pass those germs to other people. And if the virus isn't in hindsight on our minds, right, because we had the vaccines, right, what do we got to worry, right? We're not going to think about the person beside us, right? And we may touch some dirty surface and forget to sanitize our hands. And what do? We touch somebody and we pass that disease on anyway, right? I agree with you, William, 100%. Be grateful. If you're working right now, be grateful. Not be grateful for the paycheck, because I know here in Canada, unemployment was paying people more than minimum wage, right? While they were on unemployment. I know that for a fact because I'm a minimum wage earner. So I know that when I was on unemployment, I was making a little bit more money than what I would have made if I was working, right? and I only took 2 paychecks, and then right away I'm back to work. As soon as they call me back to work, I've been working full time during the pandemic. Full time, people, not for the money, because like I said, I was making more money on unemployment. I'm working full time because it gave me something to ground in, right? It gave me something to feel a little bit of normalcy, to make me feel like I was accountable and had responsibilities. It helped me emotionally to feel like I was of value. And at a time too, especially when I was feeling like such a loser, right? I was feeling like such a loser last year. And then to be able to come out of that and do that work and be determined and listen to these amazing people that had this amazing advice and right, all that amazing help. And I have to send them a letter, and I'm waiting to do my Google review of them. I'm doing it, the most amazing Google review, but I want to talk about being able to have worked for that full year during the pandemic, and that I was able to keep a full-time job because of these organizations who took a chance on me, right? But yeah, they're going to get amazing, amazing Google review, right? Yeah. I'm really pleased with how things are working out. I know it's not over. I know it's always going to be a struggle. I know I'm always going to have problems, but that's right. That's just the gist of things, right? And that's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always going to be. But, it's just going to be different struggles going forward, right? It's just going to be different struggles going forward. Okay, let's look here. Is there a lot of surveillance, Andrew, at your job? It's a university, right? Well, they're real sticklers when it comes to you getting tested for the virus and stuff. I know that they're sticklers about that. But are they sticklers when it comes to the surveillance? I'd be interested in knowing that, Andrew. Yeah. Oh, and 100%. Right. And we got to think this is Owen's mom, right? So you got vaccinated. And you feel, oh, I don't have to worry about the virus anymore, right? And you go shopping and you pull up a box of pancake batter off the shelf, a box of pancake batter, and you take a look at the ingredients on the back of it. And you go, oh, darn, too many calories, and you put that box of pancake batter back on the shelf. Andrew, he walks to that shelf. He goes, ooh, maybe me and mom are going to have pancakes today. And he picks up that box of pancake mix that you just touched because you got coronavirus germs all over that box. Now Owen's got it on his hands. And what he does, he takes it home. He makes his mom pancakes for dinner. And what has he done? He's passed on that germ to his mom. How fair is that to put that on Owen, right? Because, you felt comfortable because you had the vaccine, right? So it's important for us not to forget that even though that we're safe from getting those viruses ourselves, we are still definitely carriers of those germs, right? For sure. 100%, Kim. You made a really, really good point there, Kim, about what's going to be happening going forward. I've been paying attention. My sister's investing a little bit in stocks. I hope she gets out of it before it all crashes. But I expect that we're going to go into a recession, a fairly serious one, where there's going to be competitions for employment in making money. There's going to be a lot of crime. I am not going into Safeway. I am not taking my bike to Safeway. I lost 2 bikes last summer. This summer is going to be crazy. All the homeless that's out there going to be making their money is stealing bikes and selling them all summer long, right? Holy moly. I am not letting my bike out of my sight. It comes right into my apartment. I don't lock it out outside anywhere. Keep my eye open to it. And I've done that a few times where I've actually stood outside and waited for people to leave the area of where I want to lock up just to make sure that they're not around, that they're right. Because even though I could see them trying to steal the bike, people do these things very, very fast. They're very adept, and they'll have that gone by the time you get to the bike stand, that bike will be gone. So I want to keep my eyes on it. I won't be able to afford another bike this year. So I've got to take care of it, right? But yeah, really great point, Kim, that you're saying there, because the things are going to change, right? Things are really, really going to change. And we have to go through this together, and we have to emotionally, right? Because we're going to have our struggles also. But we might be a little bit better, you guys, in this crew that I have here, because I know you're caregivers. I know when it's your time off, it's your time off, right? That you're not spending it gallivanting and socializing and hanging out with other people. You are mostly introverts who like to spend time on your own, right? So you might be able to adapt a little bit better than a lot of people who are going to miss, right? Like, remember what I said, this summer is going to be crazy this summer. People are not going to be happy about being locked up and shut down for another summer. They're not going to, they're just not going to do it. I can see it already, and it's going to be absolute habit. But we've got to get these vaccines out as fast as we can, because the more people that we can vaccinate, the better it will be for the economy. It's a sad thing to say, right? But we have to keep as many people possible as we can out of the hospitals, right? Right? Can you imagine this, just the cost of people being in critical care, intensive care, like what's going on in Toronto and everything, just being totally shut down again. Really good point, Kim. And everybody should keep that in mind. Like, people, and I've been telling people, like, if you're a grandmother or if you're a mother and you know how to knit or sew or crochet, or you're a good cook, or you know about herbs, right? Pass these on to your daughters, right? If the men know gardening or mechanics, right? If they know hunting skills, if they know how to do repairs, if they're a little bit of a MacGyver, right? Like, I'm a MacGyver. Like, I'm a really good MacGyver. It's something I make. I'm a problem solver, right? I'm a problem, and I'm adapt and conquer very much. So problem solver, adapt and conquer equals MacGyver. And if I have a problem, I will figure out a way. I might have to pull in the troops. I might have to dig up some resources, but I can always find a solution for problems, right? But we have to be able to adapt and conquer. And for sure, this is a skill that Nancy has. So if anybody has any problem on adapting and conquering and overcoming, Nancy's your girl on that one for sure, right? And then again, so are all of us. I look at all of us and I see the adapt and conquer, and I see that determination, right? And that closeness, that wanting to help, that wanting to be that person to help lift up the person beside us, like every single one of you guys, right? Oh, really? Yeah, well, I heard the mask is basically to stop us from spreading germs on other people, not necessarily not getting the germs ourselves. And I get people come into my store and their masks are disgusting. Oh my God. Yellow, snotty, finger blackened face mask. You guys, that's not good. You guys. And they come into my store and I just give them masks. I mean, they cost us money, but here, take this. You need this. Wash it at night, right? Put it on in the morning, but when you get home at night, wash it. That's absolutely disgusting. And especially, I mean, it's different if it's inside and on your face and those stuck to your face and everything. As long as people can't see that guck on the outside. Oh my goodness, just disgusting. Well, I'm not sure about that, Andrew, because when I was watching those documentaries on the Spanish flu, the face mask helped out greatly during that process of healing, right? And they didn't really understand the germs and how it was being spread around and stuff, but they said that those face masks made all the difference in the world. Yeah, people come to into our store with the bandanas in their faces. We don't let them in the store with the bandanas because they can cough and that flap just comes up and all that goes all over the place anyway. We just don't allow those in the store. And it's such an argument. I just look at them going, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying I'm not arguing with you, right? I'm just saying I'm not arguing with you, right? Put your mask on or I'm going to have to ask you to leave, right? And it's simple. Don't argue with me. This is the rule. We're done. This is the conversation. This is the rule. We're done. Follow it. Don't follow it. Yeah, right? You got your face mask on, you can come in the store. If you don't have a proper face mask on, then you can leave. And it's as simple as that. That's how my boss wants her store run. That's how I will run the store because my boss puts the roof over my head. My loyalty goes to my manager and the way she wants to run her store. So I do the best I can. I'm not perfect, and she has a little bit of tolerance for me, only because she has a little bit of love for me. She has a little bit of tolerance for me. So I try a little bit harder, right? I put that little bit of extra effort in the spots in my work ethics that are weak, right? Right? I'm a very social person. I can get yapping. When I'm at work and I feel somebody is having a moment, I want to alleviate that moment if I can. And I can get wrapped up in a conversation with somebody and get tied up when I've got things to do, right? So I know my boss doesn't like that. I know that I dissuade the pain when I'm getting heck for things. I right away I'll go, it wasn't me, right? Right? And it might not be, and it definitely I wouldn't say it wasn't me if it wasn't me, but I don't like to get blamed for things that I didn't do. It's right, but it's a trait that she hates. She hates people saying I didn't do it. So now I go, okay, and I don't take it personally. Right? In general, she just doesn't want people to do it, and she doesn't care who's doing it. She just doesn't want it done it anymore, so she's going to cover all her bases and tear everybody a new one, right? So I just got to remember that even though I don't like to be accused of things that I don't like to do, her pet peeve is she hates it when people says it wasn't me, it's not me. She doesn't care who it is. She just doesn't want it to happen anymore. She wants it to do it this way, right? So I make adjustments. Because again, she puts the roof over my head and my loyalty is to my manager, right? And that's the way I work. Right? And she's a lovely lady and she works harder than any of us. Oh my goodness, she works harder than any of us. And that is not even an exaggeration there for sure. Yeah, William, I'm really happy that you got your vaccination. That is absolutely amazing. Have you been able to spend like your niece, your goddaughter, has she gotten her vaccination, William? Did your goddaughter get her vaccination? Have you been able to have spend any time with that family? Because it's important that everybody socializes to the best of their ability. Like, this is great that we're here on Sunday, right? But we all need to have people to talk to, right? To people to hang out with. Yeah, 100%, Andrew. That's exactly what I do. I've always been that way too, right? Especially when I know going into jobs that I'm going to rub people the wrong way. And I did. It wasn't intentional. Half the time I didn't even know what made people dislike me. They just did, right? And so what I would do is I knew I couldn't I couldn't fix things with my peers, that my peers were going to have a problem with me no matter what. So I got in with the boss. I would make sure that, my loyalty were to my bosses, right? So that I would have that protection, right? That I would cross train myself and learn other people's jobs so that I would make myself an asset. And that's important to do right now too, everybody. And that's what I'm saying right now is bosses get the opportunity to pick the cream of the crop, right? You might have a lawyer fighting with the paper boy for that job at Dairy Queen, right? This is how it is. And so people get to have choices, right? So do you want the manager of Apple whipping up those cones? Or do you want the paper boy who collects his monthly fees at the end of the month making that ice cream cone? Well, you get a choice, right? Who needs that job more? Who's going to appreciate it more? Who's maybe going to stick around when this is all over and want to be a part of that company? Like, these are questions that you have to ask yourself, right? And as I build my team, because eventually I'll have my own team, right? I'll have an editor that I can just go off and I can go do my videos, and I'll have an editor who can make beautiful explore videos out of the stuff that I film and everything. And I'll be able to have that time and space to go off and do what I want to do, right? Yeah. And I do. And I think it's a good trait to have, is to make yourself indispensable. And I would say that to anybody, even Andrew at your job at the university, like, you got to be the best person at your job, right? Because when it comes down to only 2 jobs left, you want to be one of the people chosen for one of those 2 jobs, right? And that might be your boss and you, right? Oh, okay. Isn't that interesting, right? That happened, right? That's almost like a gift. Maybe did she was she born after your friend passed away, or before, William? Did she get born after or before your friend passing away? I'd be interested to know that. Mm, okay. Yeah, the disposable masks. Yeah, we offer those out to our customers at work. I myself, we have little old ladies who make face masks, and they donate them to the store. We sell them for $1.50. Really nice masks too. They come in, the Hutterite ladies and stuff. They come in and they buy fabric, and they make bags of face masks, and they donate them to the store. And that's providing service. That's providing service. If anybody doesn't know what to do to provide service, and you know how to sew and you have a sewing machine, like, make some face masks and donate them to your local secondhand store to give out to the vulnerable, right? And we sell them for $1.50. And as fast as we can put them on the shelf is as fast as they go. But I always get first dibs. And, if a new style or a nice fabric comes in, actually, I'll just grab part of my collection, because part of my collection I got right here. Dragging my recycle bag with me. But look at all my face masks. These are all my face masks. And like I said, depending on the outfit that I'm going to wear, this is my Adidas one, depending on the outfit that I'm going to wear, and some of them are fabrics on 2 different styles, right? So depending, right, but I got all kinds. If I wear my favorite yellow sweater, like, I've got a matching face mask, and some of them have wires, and some of them tuck under the chin, right? And they all connect really well onto. Isn't that a pretty mask? Like, isn't that pretty, right? And it covers the face really mask, and you can pull it right up, and you can breathe real well, right? And it tucks under really good under there. But see, I've got all kinds of masks, and they're all clean. Like they're always clean, right? So there's no reason to wear a dirty mask. And even if I only had one face mask, I would put it on in the morning. But when I got home at night, I would run it under the kitchen sink with some dish soap, right? And I would give it a good scrub and I'd rinse it out and I would hang it up. And then by morning, it's all dry and ready to go again, right? Like, there's no reason to have dirty face masks. It's so sad when I see people come into the store and it looks like they've been wearing that same face mask and not cleaning it. Oh my goodness, some of those masks are so bad, so fast. They're just right. They're gonna have to be burned. They're gonna have to be burned, and right. And I would hate to be that emergency room worker who has to remove some of these masks off these people, these disgusting masks. I mean, you got to appreciate that they try no matter what. But it's not that they're trying, right? Because if they tried, they'd actually keep their masks clean. What they're doing is they're just doing it because it's the law, right? Because they have to. So they give the bare minimum. Yeah, but if you can and like I said, these masks are made by the little old ladies, right? While they're sitting at home, and then they put them in a Safeway bag or a recycle bag, and they donate them. Like, look at how pretty these masks are. And like I said, right? No matter what the outfit I would have a matching face mask. So that's one thing. My boss lets me take the mask. So I've got a mask for every day of the week. So if I only did laundry once a week, I would be able to wear, at the very least, I would be able to wear a clean mask every day. I like that idea, Andrew, that they put the mask. And I think you know what I'm going to do, because I have extras, right? And I have a couple of that are the same and a couple that I don't wear anymore. So you know what? I'm going to wash them. I'm going to put them in sandwich bags. And that's a great idea. I have a little library not a block away from me. I haven't been collecting any of the books from there because I don't want to bring them into my house. But I will. I'm going to donate some of those masks to that little library, because we do have homeless in this neighborhood, and wouldn't it be nice if I contributed to somebody from wearing a filthy, dirty, disgusting yellow snot. Oh, right. Just these, and it might have been like the one and only mask they had, like during the whole coronavirus. Oh my goodness! Like I said, I would not be wanting to be that emergency room worker that would have to remove that thing off somebody, right? Peel it off and peel their skin off underneath because it's just been stuck there. Yeah, some of them are pretty grody. Not judging, right? People, like I said, they do the best they can. Maybe not, right? Got to pay attention, but you don't know unless somebody brings it to your attention, right? And if you had an extra mask in your pocket or sitting in the little libraries, like Andrew was saying, like, what a great idea that is. Yeah. Yeah, William, that heartbreak has been a long process for you. It's been a long process. Yeah, and I hope you're starting to come out of that pain. Oh, isn't that terrible? I want to use garbage bags and start collecting those masks. What a pollutant. What a pollutant. Because that's like diapers, right? Those things are going to take as long as diapers to recycle for sure. Yeah, it's time to heal on that one, William. It's time to heal. you keep your love for him alive, right? And as much as beautiful that it is, and there's a lot of beauty in heartbreak. There is a lot of beauty in heartbreak, and I know that from personal experience. But sometimes we can get pulled into that heartbreak where we feel lost without feeling that pain, right? It's what that it gets to the point where that pain is a signal that you're still close, that you're still thinking of them, and then right, and then you feel guilty afterwards for not having that heartbreak, right? Okay, everybody, that's it for this week. It just gets faster and faster. I sure appreciate everybody coming live on Sunday nights, right? Keeping each other company, making sure that everybody is doing okay. My love is going out there to everybody who didn't make it in this week, right? I hope you're safe. I hope your family is safe, right? I hope you're moving forward. I hope you're keeping a good eye on your emotional well-being, because that's a priority, because none of us can help anybody unless we're helping ourselves, right? So keep that in mind as we move forward, right? Because we're always moving forward. Okay, everybody, that's it for this week. Thank you so much to all my great moderators, all my great yappers there, for all that great conversation that we have. I think I'm going to have a bath now, right? Get in my pajamas and just call it an early night, I think, right? Yeah, I'm glad it was my day off today, because it would have made for a hard day at work feeling like the way I did today, because I really did not feel good. I really did not feel good for most of my day today. And today was kind of a bit of a write-off day off, but sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to just crash and de-stress, right? So maybe now's the time that I'm going to go have some ice. Go have some ice cream. Go have some ice cream. Fill up the tub. Have a bath. Maybe have a cup of coffee. Take in one more lesson and then call it a night. Okay, everybody. That's truly it for tonight. We'll see each other next Sunday. Bye.